Art schools are an important aspect of the educational system in America. The decreasing budget for education in America might lead many to believe that the arts are a superfluous program and that it shouldn't be maintained while the rest of the educational system is failing. Many argue that the arts are a leech on the educational system budget and that the schools will benefit more if the arts programs are cut. An arts teacher in Westfield Academy stated that within 2 to 3 years, every school that cuts arts showed a decrease in attendance and morale, and an increase in vandalism and disruptions. Within 3 years, most of these schools had to hire on-site police forces, which cost more than the arts programs themselves. Cutting arts from schools is taking a detrimental action and will in fact hurt the school budget rather than improve it. The arts programs in schools are an extremely beneficial program to have in school and that they should not be cut. These programs provide an outlet for children's emotions and they help foster the creativity. They also keep children off the streets and instead keep them in class and school where they belong. And finally, arts programs in schools encourage the mental development of children. Our programs in schools provide an outlet for children's emotion. Arts are an important place in a child's young life. Remember those art projects that we had as little kids, where we had to finger paint, or where we had to draw stuff, or we made bases for our moms on Mother's Day. That was something vital for our... Now it may not seem like it's a big deal, but these actions actually helped develop our mentality. Each color that the kids choose, each drawing, each crayon that the child chooses, whether it be a purely aesthetic choice based on color or design, or a deep emotional choice like their favorite color, or this color represents something in their life, that color is important to this child. According to the United States Department of Justice, youth who participate in arts education gain an increased ability to express their emotions appropriately and have less chances of ending up in the juvenile crime district. Cutting arts from schools cut off these vital parts of the children's life. I have a quote from Winter and Hetland, who are both professors at UCLA. For students living in a rapidly changing world, the arts teach vital modes of seeing, imagining, inventing, and thinking that help them in adult life. Our programs provide an important education that normal curriculums cannot teach. Art and music programs in schools provide a different kind of learning environment that supplies an alternative to normal curriculum. There is a limit to what the standard curriculum can teach, but thanks to the No Child Left Behind Act that President Bush enacted, all these programs are forced to be cut back, and the schools are forced to only learn mathematics and language arts. Many argue that these programs are all that is needed for a successful education, but these programs do not teach what the art programs can. According to, again, Professor Winter and Hetland, skills include visual, spatial abilities, reflection, self-criticism, and the willingness to experiment and learn from all their mistakes. All of these are important in numerous careers, but are widely ignored by the school system. Teachers who encourage students to innovate through exploration, to experiment, and to take risks, these teachers are the ones that should be congratulated, because they are teaching what the art programs are used for. Many educators argue that if education were kept the same way as it is now, with minimal arts, that these children will still have a successful future. But they do not realize that if there is no interest in school, these children will fail and drop out of the system. A study completed by the United States Department of Justice has shown that 80% of at-risk youth who participated in after-school art programs and in-school art programs went to college, and that there was also a 27% decrease in juvenile crime when these programs were instated in schools. These studies have shown that the art programs are vital in keeping our children safe. Finally, I will leave you with this. Children will be hurt if art programs continue to be cut. Many people don't realize the importance of art programs, and they think it to be useless when compared to courses such as language and math. But they are in fact an important aspect of a child's mental development. There's only so much that a test can discover from a child's thinking capacity. The written word and numbers are only two forms of communication. We need art programs to make a student well-rounded and prepare them for adulthood, and make all forms of communication necessary. Thank you.
Was it? Sorry, yes. Yeah. All right, you've got so many claims at the beginning of the speech that I can't tell what the main proposition is. I can't distinguish it from the secondary claims, and there's not, as a consequence, a very clear structure to the speech. And so that's a problem. You feel passionately about the subject, which I think is good, and you deliver it pretty effectively. And you've got some interesting visualizations to start us off with, and in the body of the speech also some pretty effective ways of conveying ideas. But without a structure, it often feels like we're going in circles, getting the same point repeated again and again, and some of your evidence doesn't really get a chance to build. Sometimes it sounds like you're making an argument that there's a problem with that people in essence say that art is worthless. I'm not sure that that's really where your controversy is. I'm not sure that anybody disputes that art is going to have a positive benefit. The question is whether or not, for instance, it's an economic necessity, or, for instance, that the costs of cutting the art programs, in essence, provide us with the benefits that we think we're going to get. And since most art programs are being cut because of financial considerations, if there's an argument that says in the long run it doesn't benefit us financially, that's where your argument is. And I thought you had one piece of information early on that suggested that there was, in fact, this very kind of problem. But it was the one that had the least amount of clarity on the source. Some vague teachers referred to in some district where whenever they cut these programs, they, within a few months they had to hire security people or a police force that was even greater than the cost that they had. I'm going, that sounds like it's a pretty good piece of evidence if it's an accurate piece of information, but I didn't think that it was cited very clearly. That's, I think, one place where there really is an argument here that in the long run the cuts don't gain us the financial advantage that we think we're going to get. Other than that, I just heard a lot of information about the benefits of arts programs, and again, I'm not sure there's all that much controversy that kids get something out of art. I think there's a little hyperbole that every crayon a kid has, is potentially, the difference in their life. I think you're going a little bit overboard on a claim like that. Like I said, I thought you did a nice job presenting. There's also another argument in the speech that sounds like you're suggesting that No Child Left Behind is the cause of this, and you could make that your claim of fact also, that the standards imposed by No Child Left Behind have resulted in substantial cuts to arts programs, and then argue that that's the cause of these particular problems. And I think that would have been an effective way of phrasing your proposition too. As it is, I feel like in one hand I'm getting a lot of information about the benefits of art programs, which is not particularly controversial, and then those issues that are controversial are not structured clearly enough to make it explicit what the dispute is. All right, thank you.